Hello and welcome to tonight's All-Star Showdown. 3 drivers transfer from this race into tonight's All-Star Race beginning at 9 o'clock. Urban Jacklin and Lindsey Boomgardner will lead the field to the green after qualifying earlier this morning. Pace car heads for pit road and the green flag is in the air for the first segment of the showdown. Urban Jacklin gets a big lead there to start this race with Trent Varner in the 89 car running in second. Side by side for third with Boomgardner and Alexi Alejandro in third. Jacklin, the pole winner here for this race, will lead lap 1. Trent Varner in the 89. Second, Lindsey Boomgardner third as they come across the line. Battle is back in fourth with Inga Miller and Alexi Alejandro for that position. It's going to be really interesting to see how this race plays out. Remember, the first segment is just 20 laps. The second segment is 20 laps, and then the winners from each one transfer to the All-Star race, and then the fan vote winner will transfer to that race as well. Jacklin with the lead for the moment. Trent Varner on the back bumper of that 27 car looking for that top spot. That's Lindsey Boomgardner back in the third position, trailing, trying to catch those two. These two were probably some of the better cars in the practice session that we had here yesterday. The 89 was one of the faster cars, I think second fastest in that practice session. Jacklin in the 27 was third fastest. So, these two are two of the ones that probably have the best cars here in this race. Battle for the 6th position. That's Inga Miller in the 43, Leah Reed in the 17, and Zach Maloney in the 13. They go 3 wide down here in the turn 1. Everybody trying to fight for position here early on. So they come down the back straightaway. Looks like Leah Reed and Maloney will prevail for that 6th and 7th position. Of course, Reed finished second at the race at 8 Bowl Super Speedway earlier this season. Came close to winning that race, probably the highest. Right now, the highest running rookie in the field. Now, that orange car there, Sol Vasquez, is another one of the rookie drivers in the showdown here tonight. But back up front, it's still Urban Jacklin out in front of Trent Varner in second. And Alexi Alejandro in the number 19 has caught Lindsey Boomgardner for third. Good battle there. I think one thing that we've seen here in the early going is that these guys running this outside line are probably going to be in the best position, I think, track-wise, because that outside line seems to be a little bit faster around here than right around the bottom. Dallas Whitaker in the 15 trying to make it a 3-car battle for third. Boomgardner and Alejandro side by side again as they head for turn 1. And Whitaker's got a fast car too. He was fastest in that practice session here yesterday morning, so look out for him here trying to advance into the All-Star race. Battle is still on. Alexi Alejandro in the 19 to the inside of Lindsey Boomgardner trying to make something happen for third. As they come back around, Whitaker going to push past as well, so move Boomgardner back to 5th. As Whitaker tries to take third from Alejandro. While up front, it's still Urban Jacklin and Trent Varner for the race lead. Varner trying to get by. So far, Jacklin has led every lap since the drop of the green flag. And he's got a good car, too. That 27 car has been really strong here in the past, too. Charlotte's probably one of Urban's best tracks. Battle again for third. Whitaker tried to get by Alejandro in turn 1. Couldn't quite get there. Again, that outside line prevails. And Lindsey Boomgardner slips by tries to slip by on the inside as they work through 3. Pretty close battle between these two here for this 4th position. And I think early on, these guys in this first segment are probably going to try and take it a little easy here. Just to try and make it to the end of this segment. It's really segment 2 that we'll probably see things begin to pick up because everybody knows they only have 20 more laps to get it done. Again, if you're just joining us, 20 laps, 2 segments of 20 laps each, with an opportunity to make a pit stop in between. Here's the battle for 7th. It's Tyler Attell in the 38, the 16 of Ashley Mendez, and the 47 of Nick Kustak there in that mix, along with rookie contender Leah Reed in the 17. Yeah, this is a gaggle of cars back here at the back of this top 10. These guys have all been racing pretty hard since the drop of the green flag. Got Mary Capizzello. Whoa, trouble! Almost a crash off turn 4. That's Kevin Dilbeck in the 46 and Kimberly McCasland in the 9. Through the grass on the front straightaway. Not sure how they held on to it, but they did. Now there's trouble turn 2. Rob Skinner in the 66 hits the wall. Caution flag is out. And that will put us under caution here, just past the halfway point in segment 1. Let's take a look at what happened first off turn 4 with Kevin Dilbeck and Kimberly McCasland. And McCasland got a little loose there on the bottom and drifted up, got into the 46 of Kevin. And both of them went through the infield grass there. Somehow or another, they all hold on to it. There's another look. And McCasland had to stop, or had to drop to the rear of the field in the 9 because of an engine change after losing that engine during the qualifying session earlier yesterday. And then this down in turn 1 and 2. And his teammates Rob Skinner and Sean Kreisman there in the 66 and the 30. It looks like maybe Rob got up the racetrack there and got into his teammate. Spam Stanley in the 32 slipping through there in the middle. Kayla Lanier in the 62, third premium motorsports entry. It's kind of hard to say. I don't know. It might look like the 66 just got up the racetrack a little bit. And there you see he hits the wall, kind of the insult to injury there at the end. So under caution here in segment 1, Urban Jacqueline, Trent Garner, Alexi Alejandro lead. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we are about to get restarted here after a crash involving Rob Skinner's number 66 off of turn number 2. Put us under caution. Urban Jacqueline in the 27 will lead the field back to the green flag, along with Trent Garner in second, Alexi Alejandra in third. Dallas Whitaker will restart fourth, Lindsey Boongardner in fifth, Zach Maloney in 13th, or the 13 car rather, will restart sixth. Tyler Attell, Ashley Mendez, Nick Kustak, and Leah Reed round out the top 10 as the pace car peels off for pit road. We'll go back to the green flag here with just under 10 laps to go in this first segment. It's going to be interesting to see how these restarts play out. We know that that's going to give everybody a chance to kind of regroup and get back after it. It'll be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Jacqueline with a good restart again with help from Alexi Alejandra. They'll push past Trent Garner and take over the top 2 spots. Dallas Whitaker trying to take over that 3rd spot now from Trent Garner in the 89. And like we mentioned earlier, you know, the 15, they've got a good car here. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with before the end of this thing as they look for second on Alejandro off of turn 4. Jacqueline still holds the lead, but then it's 15 and the 19 battling there for second place. Trent Varner back to 4th. And Tyler Attell has moved his way up to 5th. Good run for that 38 car in Front Row Motorsports for those two as they work their way up here, and Nick Kustak has moved his way up the 6th position. Oh, a little contact there with Tyler Riddell off turn 4. Yeah, that 47 car is flying. They came down pit road along with a couple of cars on the back half of this field during that caution. Put 4 tires on that thing, and it's showing right now. Down the back straightaway, Kustak on the back bumper of Trent Varner for 4th as they work past Dallas Whitaker for the 5th spot. This is be close coming back around here. Jacqueline out in front, Alejandra in 2nd, Trent Varner back in 3rd. Battle is currently for 4th. Nick Kustak around Dallas Whitaker for that spot, now trying to run down the top 3. Let's take a look at this replay here. Mary Capizzello about knocked the wall down coming off of turn 4. That white car on the outside. Big hit there and almost got into Inga Miller's 43. Come down to the white flag. Final lap of segment 1. The winner of this transfers to the All-Star race later tonight. Nick Kustak just drove from the bottom to the outside down there in turn 1 and 2 and picked up both 2nd and 3rd. And now is on the back bumper of Jacqueline in the 3. One more chance to do it. Who's going to get here first? Jacqueline, Kustak battling side by side down to the line. It's going to be Kustak at the line by inches over Urban Jacqueline for the transfer spot. So move the 47 of Nick Kustak into tonight's All-Star race. Looks like that pit strategy paid off for that 47 team. Remember, they came in, got 4 tires along with about half of the back part of the field, and they were able to do it. Here's a replay. Jacqueline with the lead, Trent Varner in 2nd, Alejandra 3rd, Kustak to the bottom, then to the top. Around Alejandra, then Trent Varner. It's a big run down the back straightaway and is on the back bumper of Jacqueline by the time they get to 3. And like we've seen so far in this first segment, an outside line tends to get a good run, but the 47 cuts back down to the inside off turn 4, side by side down to the line, and just that close. Side by side for Jacqueline and Nick Kustak. Kustak, the winner of segment number 1. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are at the halfway point of the All-Star Showdown event. Nick Kustak in the 47 is your winner of the first segment, so they'll advance to the All-Star race tonight, and we'll have pit stops to basically be the intermission here as they come down pit road, or Jacqueline will lead the field. 2 pit stops here. Trent Varner, Alexi Alejandra, and more on pit road. This is going to be an opportunity for these guys to come down pit road and change tires on these cars. Jacqueline in the 27 going to go 4 tires and fuel, and no adjustments on this number 27 machine. Meanwhile, Alexi Alejandra is also going 4 tires, fuel, and a small track bar adjustment. Race off of pit road, and it's Ronnie Dilbeck with the win off of pit road, gaining 13 spots with a fuel-only stop. Looks like Aisha DeVore and Sean Kreisman also got no tires on this pit stop. And, so that will be the race off pit road. We'll line them up for the restart after this. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, getting ready for segment number 2 of the All-Star Showdown. The winner of this and the fan vote winner will go to tonight's All-Star race, which begins at 9 o'clock. Excel Vasquez in the number 51, Marissa DeShields in the 23. Both of them stayed out under that caution. Ronnie Dilbeck in the number 98 took no tires on that pit stop. the first car with tires after that pit stop. Corvega Jacqueline in the 27, restarting in the 4th position. Here we go, green flag back in the air, 20 laps to go. Who's going to transfer now? So Vasquez there in that 51 car got a pretty good start. Dilbeck in the 98 there, running in 2nd. On 20-lap-old tires, now looking for the lead on the inside into turn 3. Get side by side here, they're going to be drag race to the line. I think it's Vasquez that leads that lap, and indeed, barely. 2/100ths of a second ahead of Ronnie Dilbeck at the line that time by. And Marissa DeShields in that 83 car, you can see how the tires, the older tires on that 23, after not pitting, have kind of held that outside line up. So the inside line is a little bit of an advantage right now for the time being. So far it's helped. So far it hasn't seemed to be a detriment to Vasquez or Ronnie Dilbeck, who have 20-lap-old plus tires, compared to Trent Varner in 3rd in that 89 car, but he's trying to get by both of them as they come down the back straightaway. You know, and I think these guys that stayed out, they're gonna need a caution. There's no way they can go all 40 laps and still have a shot at winning this thing. Maybe that's part of their strategy, try and pit if we do get a caution. But, the way these guys have been has been pretty calm so far. Ronnie Dilbeck out in front. He'll take over the lead in a car that has failed to qualify in all 12 points-paying races this season. Whoa, Urban Jacqueline into the wall. Zach Maloney around, and the caution comes out. And Pamela Stanley in the 32 also collected here at lap 5. Caution laps do not count in this segment. It's a tough break for Maloney. They were running up there in the top 10 until that pit stop. They got shuffled back because of the pit stop. Unfortunately, this is the result. Stanley in the 32 car. It's running toward the back of the field. Let's take a look at what happened. Jacqueline got up high and into the wall, kind of like what happened to Mary Capizzello toward the end of that last segment. And gets into Zach Maloney. They get together, and then Tyler Attell in the 38 also collected in that. And then here comes Pam Stanley with presumably nowhere to go or no brakes. Not sure what that happened there. It looked like she had enough room to get by, but was unable to. Here's another angle of it. And, these guys have been racing pretty hard, and this 2 and 3 wide, especially the 3 wide, has been really tricky off of turn 4. Once again, it shows. A lot of guys had problems last season off of turn 4. Look at Inga Miller, sideways and into the grass, but avoids it, while the 32 of Pam Stanley does not. It did a whale of a job there getting by that wreck. They had been on the outside looking like they were going to get in there. There's Dallas Whitaker's view, just ahead of him. And he almost ran over Leah Reed at 17 car. That was a close call for them, too. So under caution here, 5 laps into segment number 2. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we are about to restart. 15 laps to go in this segment. Remember, caution laps do not count in segment 2. This 20-lap segment now led by Trent Varner, as the 98 of Ronnie Dilbeck had made a pit stop during caution. So he'll start at the back. Everybody else stayed out. Green flag back in the air. Trent Varner, Ashley Mendez, the front row on this attempt. So Vasquez in 3rd with Aisha DeVore up to the 4th spot. And that 83 car has been pretty strong here tonight too so far. Considering they took 2 tires on that, or no tires on that pit stop, so it'll be interesting to see how that 83 car holds up. Varner rockets ahead in turn 3. He'll take over the race lead. Mendez back in second, trying to fight the 19 of Alexia Alejandra. Just saw Aisha Vore hit the wall off turn 4, and that checks everybody up from about 6th on back. See right there at the top of your screen, gets into the wall. That's her teammate Marissa DeShields in that white car behind her. So that was kind of detrimental to both of their runs so far. Of course, they've struggled in the points races this year. Definitely not a good start for this part of the race. Whitaker in the 15 caution, front straightaway again. This time it's Inga Miller and Shaylin Yeager getting together off of turn number 4. And that will put us under caution for a second time in this segment, third time overall, not including the halfway break there. And Trent Varner will lead them back to the caution flag. Well, let's take a look at what happened off of turn 4 again. This might have a little bit of the same issue as a moment ago. It's Yeager on the outside in the blue car, the dark blue car, and then looks like she gets into the wall, and then Inga Miller didn't have time to check up and got into the back of her. And we just mentioned how Ronnie Delbecker came down pit road to put 4 tires on that machine. He gets a piece of this, as does Rob Skinner in the 66, who was involved in that earlier crash. And I think Skinner kind of helped facilitate that by pushing Miller back into the 25 as they came back off of turn 4. Pretty good hit for those two as well. Pretty good damage on that 25 car after that wreck. So under caution again, and so we'll take a break, and we'll be back in time for the restart with 13 laps to go. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where the field is currently working through turn 4, and we'll come back to the green flag. And it looks like Itzel Vasquez in the 51 has some issues with that machine, smoke pouring out of that car, but they will make it to pit road, and we will go back to the green flag here with 13 laps to go in segment 2. Green flag back in the air. We'll head back down to turn 1. It's side by side with Trent Varner and Alexia Alejandra. Look at Kevin Dilbeck in that 46 car, going to make it 3 wide down to the bottom off turn 2. Trying to grab second place. Now Dallas Whitaker chops back up there. He'll jump in line behind Kevin Dilbeck in 46. And Dilbeck moves up to the second position. That's Alejandra that just hit the wall off of turn 4, but we stay green. Everybody keeps it clean. Back down to turn number 1, Varner out in front. Now it's Ashley Mendez back to second. She'll try and get that position, but like we've seen so many times. Whoa, Dallas Whitaker almost lost it off of turn 2, but he saves it. Close call there for the 15. And not only that, but he picks up a position in the process. It's by that 46 of Kevin Dilbeck there for the 3rd spot. Now here comes Mark Luff in the 35 back here in 5th. So Trent Varner out in front by about half a second over Ashley Mendez. Dallas Whitaker just drives by on the outside for second. Move him up to second. Mendez the 3rd. Kevin Dilbeck the 4th. And Mark Luff back in 5th. Whitaker's got a fast car. We talked about it. He was fastest in practice, but he just did not get that great of a qualifying effort compared to some of the other drivers that started ahead of him. But here he is, right here on second, trying to chase down Trent Varner for the lead. Battle for 7th. It's Alejandra and that's Neil Thompson in number 95, battle for that position. Alejandra moves up to the 6th spot. And Reed in the 17 right there in that group as well. Looks like the 95 has been into the wall at some point. Not sure when that was. Alice Whitaker again trying to get the lead. Can't quite get there this time. Trent Varner still holds the top spot, but for how long? Whitaker looks to the inside, doesn't make a move. He's been running the bottom, and we talked about it earlier, how the top line seems to work a little bit better for these guys. If you're on the bottom, you have a hard time being able to make a pass down there, and so far, that's held true for the 15. So Whitaker in second, it's Ashley Mendez back in third. The top five remains the same. Trent Varner leading. And you have Whitaker, Mendez, Evan Dilbeck, and Mark Luck. A little bit blocking down there on the back straightaway by Whitaker on Mendez. But Whitaker just bounced off the wall there off the turn 4. Same trouble spot everybody else. A lot of other drivers have been having with turn 4 getting into that wall. We saw it in practice, we saw it in qualifying, and now so far we've seen it a couple times in the showdown. Might be something to watch for tonight's All-Star race later on. Mark Luck out by Kevin Dilbeck, now looking for the third spot on Ashley Mendez in the 16. Here in the side-by-side off turn 4, Mark's going to have to give up the position though. The outside line prevails once again for now. Kevin Dilbeck in the 46 going to try it, but does not have the room to get underneath Mark Luck into 1 and 2, so he'll fall back into the clutches of Alexi Alejandro. In the number 19, and we'll take a look to the inside for the 6th spot. Meanwhile, Trent Varner back up front. Dallas Whitaker with that damage on the right side after getting into the wall a couple laps ago, trying to chase him down still. And that's the first car I think that we've seen into the wall that hasn't had any issues with damage so far. Whitaker is right there now on the back bumper of Trent Varner. Can he make the pass? Work for him. Not quite. Last time by, it was the battle for 0.3 of a second. This time by, that gap is down to just 0.2 of a second. So we come back to 4 laps to go in segment 1. Remember, the winner of this segment goes to the All-Star race later on, so if you don't win, you gotta hope that you got enough votes for the fan vote to be able to transfer. Whitaker now trying the outside line, maybe trying to make a little bit of headway to try and gain some position on the 89. This time by, the gap still 0.2 of a second, now 0.3 that time. Actually lost a little bit of ground that lap. I don't know if that line changed up, and it might take him a couple of laps to get up there, but it's going to be close. And meanwhile, Mendez now looking inside of the turn 3, almost some contact between Mendez and Whitaker. As they battle for second, Alejandro now trying to get by Mark Luck for the 4th spot. 2 laps to go in this segment. Whitaker just pulls away. He had a good run there for 1 and 2. This might be the run he needs to try and get by this 89 car. We'll come down to the white flag in segment number 2 of the showdown, this time by Varner, leader, Dallas Whitaker in second. Will we see another photo finish? He closes the gap this time from 0.6 down to 2, and he is there in turn 1. They could potentially be side by side here coming off of turn 2, depending on how he makes this run. He might get to the outside, he does. Doesn't get a run quite yet. Looks to the inside as they come to turn 3. Final time through 3 and 4. The winner of this segment transfers to the All-Star race. Whitaker to the outside. He's in the wall. Trent Varner's going to hold on to win in segment 2. Whitaker finishes second. Mendez, Mark Luck, and Alexi Alejandro round out the top 5, but it's all Trent Varner who goes to the All-Star race later tonight. That was going to be that was about to be a photo finish here. You see Whitaker goes to the outside, but he hits the wall, just like he did about 5 laps beforehand. I think he hit it a little bit harder this time. If he had about another inch of track, he probably would have been fine. Or had he tried the inside like Kusek did in the first segment, he probably would have been side by side with him. So Trent Varner will move on to the showdown, and Urban Jacklin is your fan vote winner. So he'll transfer to the All-Star Race as well. We'll be back at 9 o'clock to line him up for the All-Star Race.
Does your supply house give you the tools you